This is your Tuks FM Top 40. I am joined by an artist who is on your Tuks FM Top 40, and she's been climbing for a few weeks now. Töme, all the way from Canada, I'm assuming.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, yes.
Firstly, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah. There's a lot of, there's a lot of down around this time. I think we're all aware of that, but overall, I'm okay. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Oh, that's good to hear. And I actually want to commend you on the amount of work you've been doing and hustle. I feel like with most artists during this time, they've been so quiet and then all of a sudden had these massive releases one after another. But you've been working solidly and consistently since even before February this year. So I just want to say well done with that because that's huge achievements and I take my hat off.
Thank you.
That's insane.
Thank you so much.
I also
Thank
wanted
you.
to ask, did you decide maybe before or during the pandemic that you weren't going to let it get to you, or was it something that was just tough to keep going and keep pushing? Because I can imagine this time was
Um,
tough to work in studios with quarantine.
yeah, it has actually. It was definitely tough, but if it wasn't for my dad, who's my manager, pushing me, I probably would be like those artists that are just sitting in quiet right now and not doing much. I'll be honest with you. So, it's definitely thanks to my team that I'm still going right now, and their motivation and their push. It means everything, and it really has kept us consistent. And we just opened up our own studio, so I don't have to worry about no quarantine issues. I've just been learning to engineer myself and do it.
I love that. Like a hair flip for your own studio. That's pretty sick. There we go.
Period.
Um,
Boom.
and I also want to get into the more technical aspects because I know it's different with every artist with how you start a track and how a track comes to them. And you've always have these amazing beats that are just layered with your vocals that just make it something I can't even comprehend how you even begin with that. So I guess what I'm asking is what comes first, the beats or the music or the lyrics, the inspiration?
Definitely the beat. The
Mm.
beat is what comes first, and then that makes me usually like inspired in a way that I feel like beats always have a story of their own. That's why usually a lot of the time I like to look at what the title of that beat is called and play off of that. Because I always feel like a producer puts that title for a reason. There's always a story, and it's my job to translate that story. So the beat is definitely what inspires me and what inspires what I'm going to talk about, what I feel like speaking of. And that topic always changes, right, depending on the beat. And then from there, freestyle some melodies. I always get my melodies out, so I just put a bunch and different melodies and layers, and then from there I structure it, and then I start filling out with writing. But I definitely do love layers and harmonies and doubles. I love to add.
So
So
that's
yeah.
pretty cool. No, and you can hear it in your album, which came out in May, Bigger Than Four Walls. I feel like with your diversity being Nigerian, French, Canadian, you really effortlessly bring all those aspects together into such a coherent sound. And I think that's pretty
Thank you.
cool. From Cherry Blossom to Energy to Free to Be the Estabel. I want to also ask, was it important for you to have a French track on your album?
Yeah, just because I don't want I definitely wanted people to be aware that I am French Canadian and that I am fluent, and I want that to be prominent. I'm Nigerian, but unfortunately I can't speak Yoruba. I can't and I'm still learning the language really and truly. But French is something that I've known and what I've grew up around. It's been in my life, it's been a part of me my whole life, and so it was important for me to kind of have that there because I knew how strong this project was, and I felt like it was definitely just like a little hint of just know that I can do this too. Like boom, just put it there so they understand that the versatility is wide.
Yeah, and you definitely
Yeah,
captured that in your album. I
thank
actually also want to speak
thank you.
about the message from No Love, which I can also kind of see in your YouTube documentary series, where you kind of have a tight knit group with amazing chemistry. I also kind of want to ask, is that what makes you protective over that group, or to keep your peace and your sanity and get what you need to get?
I am definitely the type to. I don't open up to everyone. I don't have the biggest group. That is for sure. I have a lot of acquaintances, but yeah, in terms of what my tight knit group is, I am very particular about it. Just because it is for my energy. It is definitely to keep safe in my peace. This industry is filled with good and bad people, I'll say. And so it's just, when I'm moving, I really do have to move with caution, you know. So it was sort of like that emphasis that the more successful you become, the less love you might actually receive genuinely. But it's not to say that it isn't there. Like, as you see from my documentary and so on and so forth, there's still people, there will always be like my ride or dies, like someone like my dad, someone like Saint, who was recording, who's been so close, and my best friends, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I've never been the type to like big groups. I've always liked small circles for my own peace. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of like this no negative energy kind of vibe, moving to Free, which last week on the Tax FM Top 40 hit number 15. We'll soon find out where it moves up this week. But I want to say congratulations on the success of the track, and just the coincidence of this track being about following your dreams, and the fact that it was so successful at the end of the day as well is quite a really cool coincidence. So that's very cool. I also want to
thank you the
coincidence that this perfect timing of this track had, because I think it gave a lot of people the sense of escape who were quarantining at home. And every time I was doing the top 40, I felt like I was free just listening to this track.
Yeah, Free was definitely a song of self-acceptance. It was a song where I wanted people to know that you, as far as you want to run away from your reality, from what your truth might be, from home, you can't, you know, and you will always have to face it firsthand at one point or another. And hopefully the people around you and yourself, you can take that time to let yourself be free, and let yourself find your light, find who you are. You know, that was really the essence of the message. And who knew it would be so relevant now, right?
Yeah.
Months down the line in COVID, we're still here, we're still dealing with it, and a lot of people are now really facing their reality and their truth. So it's really relevant to me right now. So it's interesting. It's interesting
So it's
that it
obviously
carries such a
not
strong
planned at
message in
all.
different ways. No. It's funny because a lot of the songs that I write, people always ask me this, like, are you writing from experience, so on and so forth. Sometimes I'm not really thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it as something that's happened to me. I'm not thinking about it as something that's happened to someone close to me. It's just what comes to my mind. I feel like it's like a generic thought that I feel like a lot of people have dealt with. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to write it out. And sometimes I don't even understand why I wrote it, why this is what came out. Or when I'm writing, I don't even know what I'm really writing until the song is done. That happens to me like all the time. And it's like, then I really hear the lyrics and I'm like, whoa, geez, this is super relevant. And always, it like literally has happened like 3 of my songs. Later on, it's the most relevant story to my own life. And I'm like, what the heck? It was never there before. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. And speaking of the more recent releases, I Pray, Sean Kingston, how did this collaboration happen? Did you guys have to work remotely? And like, what was it like working with him?
Yeah, we did have to work remotely. Man, I must just say thank you to him. Like, I give him all my respects because, like, it's Sean Kingston, for crying out loud, and that he's probably had many different people, you know, want to make a song with him, and he's probably only released 3 or 4 songs from 2019 to now. So I feel really, really respected that, you know, that he did want to jump onto this song and he was willing to work with me. However, I've never had the opportunity to speak to him directly. It was done indirectly through our teams, through someone on my team and on his. However, it does definitely make me feel really good, and I appreciate and respect him for hopping on my song and doing it so justice. So I thank him for that. Really.
So you wouldn't have been able to tell that it was worked remotely. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
No, I love the song and the music video as well. Like, I would have thought that Sean Kingston was somewhere in the background with how I love the great music video.
We can't leave Canada, so right now it's been a little tough to do anything. Yeah, but I was like, I still think this song needs a strong visual anyway, so we just got it done.
I can't wait to hear it live and actually see it live. Speaking of being trapped where we are, And I've seen you've been doing
Yeah.
quite a few online things like One Africa Foundation and stuff. Is there any virtual live events happening soon coming up that we can look for?
Yes, ma'am. We do have a lot. Okay, it's just been confirmed actually that I'll be doing So Far Sounds US on November 17th. So make sure you guys look out for that. I also have another show with Sessions UK, which will also, that was supposed to happen on the 31st. However, there's a lot of situations going on right now where we just felt like, out of respect for our community and everything going on, let's just push it back. So the date for the session show is tentative still, but fully confirmed as of right now is So Far Sounds US November 17th, and sessions should be happening before. So everyone has to make sure they're following me and stick up with the journey so they don't miss that one.
And speaking of, where can we find you on social media to make sure that everyone gets notified?
Yes, Töme official _. That's TOME. ME, not I, guys. TOME official _.
I love how you know that's
Everywhere.
already a common mistake.
Yeah, no, it's a common mistake. Yeah.
And thank you so much for speaking to us. Hopefully, Free goes to #1 on the Tuks FM Top 40. And when it does, you need to come down to South Africa and celebrate. We can't wait to have you here. I think I speak for everyone in South Africa when I say that.
I think so. I honestly, like, my interviews with people in South Africa have been incredible. I literally want to come to Africa generally so bad. So I cannot wait to come to South Africa. Truly, really. Thank you so much for everything.
It's been an absolute pleasure to me. Thanks.
Thank you.